If you can believe this, I am tired. So we just finished opening up the cyber stalking crap. Now we're back on the criminal trial. Back on the never-ending misdemeanor. I have two things I went through. This is it for tonight. Enough is enough. So I filed this on my criminal trial. The notice to produce full accounting and financial disclosures and SPN associated data. Everyone gets an SPN. It's like the something person number. And I made a whole video on it. Almost nobody watched it. My problems are your problems. Nobody knows what this thing is except for me and like a handful of other people, or bar card people. So yeah, go ahead and file a notice to produce full accountings and financial disclosures. What are they're spending a ton of money on me. Your money. So it comes now me, files this notice to produce accounting, financial records pursuant to my rights under the United States Constitution and Florida Constitution. They don't care about that. Truth be told, they will never give this to me, even though it's my right to have it. I'm going to try to fly through this. So yeah, I demand full transparent disclosure of financial records, billings, administrative costs, and fiscal activity associated with this case, included but not limited to. And this is my criminal trial. Bond and pretrial, detention financials, all bond amounts, set, posted, modified, forfeited. How much money do you think they spent on this? I would say it's probably $40,000 to $60,000 right now, plus the bond that was $100 that got turned into $500, that I believe got turned into like $28,000, something like that. And that's what I'm trying to find out for a fact here. So yeah, bond and pretrial, detention financials, all bond amounts posted, set, modified, forfeited. Any cost imposed, court imposed. Fees, penalties, and costs tied to pretrial release or conditions, record of any third-party surety or contractual bond conditions, court administrative costs, all court costs, surcharges, docketing fees, or administrative fees assessed or billed. These courts apparently run off your tax dollars. And they won't drop the case, they won't give me a trial, they just keep this going. It's a money-making racket is what it is. And they're torturing me. It's going to be it's a money losing racket for everyone involved, except for me. I have lost a great deal on this. My time, what's my time worth? It's worth quite a lot. Yeah, breakdown of costs accrued through continuances, resets, or cancellations. Any costs attributed to the defendant despite her indigent status. Attorney costs and public fund usage. All court-appointed attorney's fees paid or billed. We had 12 attorneys. I think there's like 15 prosecutors now. One judge, a clerk. Any administrative overhead charges connected to the case assigned, withdrawal or substitution of counsel. A total amount expended from taxpayer funds for each attorney assigned and then withdrawn. Records of any invoices, contracts, or compensation. Summaries related to public defender or conflict counsel, taxpayer funds and court resources, a detailed accounting, and they have it's like a comprehensive annual financial report or whatever. And the stuff should be, if you follow generally accepted accounting principles, all this stuff needs to be accounted for, and I'm sure there's tax forms and stuff that go with it. I've already asked them for that once and they just ignored me. So yeah, detailed accounting of court record or resources and over the life of this case, including jury trial selection and cancellation, scheduling and cancellations, hearing steps, staffing and record keeping, transport or custody coordination, if any, and then there is. Maybe not on this side, but there is something there. This is a legal and lawful request. Are they going to fulfill it? Nope, they will ignore it. I know they'll ignore it. A request for all information associated with SPN, the system person's number. You have one. If you've ever been anywhere in these courts, you have one. I did a whole video about it. Go look up my video for SPN numbers. Probably one of the only ones on YouTube. Defendant further requests any and all information tied to her SPN number, system person number, including charges, case file, classification, detainer or hold status, risk assessment, scores or flags tied to SPN data, judicial or clerical notes or logs referencing the SPN. Associated financials, costs, or system actions, automated or manual. Legal grounds. Defendant is constitutionally entitled. So Article 1, subsection 9 and 16 of the Florida Constitution. 6th and 14th Amendment, we all know they don't care about that. Brady versus Maryland, they don't care about that. Or Giglio, I didn't put that in here, but Giglio versus whoever. Gideon versus Wainwright, I've been screaming that from the rooftops. Between the pillars of Joshin and Boaz. For quite a while, they don't care about Gideon versus Wainwright. It was 1963. Due process, transparency and prosecution. Defendant's right to challenge and review any financial procedural burdens being levied against her without proper hearing, oversight, preservation, use of information, for the purpose of asserting any additional motions or, for dismissal, recusal, or sanction. Try to sanction everyone, dismiss, and recuse. They just ignore it or strike it. Preparing federal civil claims. And I have something about civil claim that I gotta put in tomorrow. I'm just too tired of it on this for days now. What was I gonna say? No, I'll get that. I'll do a video on that too. Oh, that I mentioned that to the appeals court. The appeals court just they dismissed it. They said, we're not gonna worry about that. You don't have any rights here. So ensuring this, preparing federal claims under U.S. Code 1983. Ensuring this case complies with mandates of open and fair criminal procedures. Exposing the misuse of taxpayer funds and obstruction, disguised as administrative backlog. Request for judicial prosecutorial financial disclosure and liability bonds. The defendant further demands disclosure of the following public records and financial instruments. I still haven't got this guy's oath of office or bond. And I've asked for it like 2 or 3 times. I've demanded it. Just ignore it. The guy doesn't have a valid oath. And he won't give me his bond information. He has to have one. But they don't want to give out the bond info because I'm going to attack it. The bond's there for a reason. Probably millions of dollars. I'm going to take every last penny. Why do you think my life is in absolute danger? It always has been. I've shown you the evidence to prove it has. Prove it is. So yeah, defendant further demands disclosure of the following public records and financial instruments to determine whether judicial and prosecutorial actors, bad actors, in this case, have any potential conflict of interest, financial bias, or personal liability exposure resulting from the defendant's pending claims and asserted constitutional violations. For the presiding judge, a copy of the judge's current financial disclosure forms as required. I've already got some of those. You gotta go digging for them. But I say why, how I'm entitled. And they won't get, I'm entitled, but they won't give them to me. Copy of any official judicial bond, surety bond, or professional liability policy held on behalf of or by the judge individually or through the 6th Judicial Circuit. And if they get so many claims on their bond, nobody's going to bond them. Then you can't be a judge. But you probably can be a judge in this county. But pretend to be a judge. They're fake actors, bad actors. Any indemnity contracts, agreements, or a copy of official surety bond. Yeah, we got to that. Any indemnity contracts, agreements, or insurers associated with the judge's conduct or courtroom administration. It's an administrative court, so it's not a court of law. It's just administration. It's an Article 1, if it's even Article 1. So for the prosecutor, identification of a blanket surety liability coverage or a professional bond under which the assistant state attorney is operating on this case. Disclosure of any financial interests. This is big. Disclosure of any financial interests, bonuses, or reward programs tied to prosecution metrics. They have metrics. They're just like the finance office and used car salesman, except you don't get a shiny new freaking Kia. You get thrown in jail. And these people loot and pillage you. They're pirates. They're absolute pirates. So yeah, metrics, conviction rates, or trial targets relevant to this prosecution and underlying law enforcement agency. I got the field training officer talking about metrics. Pretty sure the video's on here. If not, I have multiple hard copies. It's good for their stats, which are the metrics, guy says. Any public financial disclosures required, the state attorney or supervising officials per that statute. These disclosures are reasonably necessary to ascertain any personal or institutional financial interest. I am tired. In the prolonged prosecution of this case, it's like it's 40 times longer than any case I guess ever been on the docket. Disclosures. All right, there we go. Determine whether any malicious prosecution, fraud, or retaliation claims may lie against individuals in their individual capacity. That there isn't a little hamster in Frank's brain running his body with little remote controls to put his robe on and go violate people's rights all day. He's a person. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. Unsure how parties are compliant with Florida's public trust and transparency laws. So yeah. So I order the clerk of court, or I order. I'm going to start issuing orders. I respectfully request of the court order the clerk of court and the office of the state attorney to produce the above information with 10 days. It'll go, no, 10 days will come and go. Believe me, whatever that means. I will follow up in 10 days. Not sure what they'll just ignore this. Preserve all financial records tied to this case and defendant's SPN. Look at your SPN. If you've ever been in the court, you got an SPN. Provide the defendant with complete written ledger of cost payments, attorney withdrawals, and expenditures of this case. Disclose any judicial or prosecutorial bonds, indemnity coverage of public financial filings. So there you go. Grant any other relief the court deems just and proper. They're not just and proper. Anyway, I gotta do one more of these. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I am freaking exhausted. Thanks for coming. If you're this video, if you to help people, if you're going through similar, or a lesser version of what this is. This is total garbage. Like not this. This is actually it's all total garbage. See you guys later.